John Edwards keeps pulling me back in. And RJ and I were talking during the break, and we had the same exact thought, which is, I keep going back and forth on this. I keep swinging wildly as, it's not that big a deal, to, it was disastrous. He shouldn't have done it. Unbelievable. And two thoughts there. So on the one hand, I got, what Amato said at the end there, and what I wrote about, and you could read it on theyoungturks.com. This doesn't have anything to do with policy. It doesn't have anything to do with how they would govern. It doesn't have anything to do with how they would be if they were elected to whatever office they were running, right? Because is John Edwards' affair going to affect his policy towards NAFTA or towards Iran? Of course not. It's preposterous to think that it would. And, as I wrote in my piece that you could, like I said, you could check out on our website, it's not like people came up to Alexander the Great and were like, you're having a couple of affairs on your wife, and we don't think you're fit to lead this empire, right? No, and you got Roosevelt and you got JFK and you got all those guys. The flip side to that is, at this point, I don't believe John Edwards on anything. So when he says, it's not my child, I don't really quite believe him. I don't know. I'll have to see that. I certainly wouldn't take it based on faith. I'd have to see the DNA evidence on it. When he says, no, I only had the affair while the cancer was in remission for my wife, I don't believe him. So then you have an issue of trust, and that's kind of real. So I keep going back and forth on this, RJ.
Yeah, I keep going back and forth on it too, and part of it is that it's personal, and we're good people and don't want to intrude into people's personal lives. Part of it, I think, is we make too much of our politics about personalities and not about the issues and the forces that are causing one side or another to lead or not lead. But, the only real defense, other than this being like, any other tabloid story, is that he was, Edwards was still playing the role of a power broker within the Democratic Party. He had both Hillary and Barack come down there and then endorse Barack at a critical time, and there was some talk about negotiation back and forth. But, is he a more critical player than, Warren Christopher or a dozen other people who were never in the paper? I doubt it. So I guess I go back to that point of view, too, that says, well, does it really matter? No. But then on the other hand, I don't like being lied to. But then on the other hand, that's narcissistic of me to care about whether, somebody, they all lie.
That's a great point.
So where do we go with this? I think it needs, and this is something we never get in our public life in this country, probably just needs a little time to sink in and everybody to think it over.
That's a great point that RJ made, which is, aren't we also being narcissistic by saying, he lied to me? I've made fun of Chris Matthews for this, because he says that about Bill Clinton, but he looked at me and lied. So what? Why do we care that he lied to you, right? And, he lied to his wife, he lied to his kids, but that's the part and parcel of an affair. And so you keep blaming him for the same thing. It's like, I've seen girlfriends do it. It's not that you cheated on me with 17 women. It's that you lied to me. No. It's that you cheated on her with 17 women, okay? That's what the thing is. And look, here's how I break it down. My final conclusion on this. I think the affair was okay. What do I mean by okay? Of course not okay for his wife and his, and how he deals with his personal issues, right? But it's okay in terms of what the public needs to know, right? We didn't need to know it. It didn't affect anything that he was going to do in governing or in running, etc. So I didn't have a problem with the affair in that sense. I'm not going to judge him in the public sphere for the affair. That's his own business and his personal life. And if his wife wants to judge him, of course, by all means. That's obviously fair game. The part where I step in and say, hey, wait a minute, this is not okay, is knowing this political climate. This is not the political climate that JFK was in, or FDR, or Alexander the Great, right? It was this political climate that he took a risk with his party and with the country to go ahead and run, knowing that he had the affair, that it might come out, and it might destroy a Democrat's chance of winning. That I can judge him on. And finally, I think he needs to go on the Maury Povich show, and we need to figure out if that love child is his or not. And I cannot wait for the moment where Maury goes, "You are not the father."